Hello again. Welcome to this video series on business impact using software. I'm Sandeep Sabat, CEO of IO Labs. At IO Lab, we build enterprise solutions for clients from diverse industries, background and sizes. We are witnessing an increasing number of infant mortality of software, which has inspired us to make this video series. In this video, we will talk about best practices during system definition stage of the project, which shapes business impact through software. Not all parts of problem space are equal. Some parts of the application are more important than the others and hence need more attention and investments. Spreading effort and quality equally throughout the entire system results in a loss of focus for the real impacting area. In the previous video, we talked about how to identify areas of software which needs to be emphasized. With the knowledge of where to focus, we can model what is core to the software deeply so that it will make a difference. Let us understand how to model the core part deeply. The core part gives the company an edge over competition, but what is core to business is not always obvious. To identify the core, one has to understand what part of application is critical for its success, why it is important and why it cannot be bought off the shelf. It is necessary to build business case around the value of the core part to demonstrate ROI of the software. The business case needs to be socialized with software sponsors to validate its significance and also for creating commitment and long-term support for the software. If there is no consensus on business criticality of identified core part, then the focus should be to minimize the features, efforts and cost of software so that there is quick learning leading to validation of idea or pivoting. When software is built with a project approach, very less thought is given to code maintenance, architecture considerations and quality. This leads to sluggishness in future changes. By approaching the core part of the application with a product mindset, it receives constant care and attention and evolves better with time. It is important to avoid being obsessive about perfection of the core part in the first time, but instead let it iteratively improve through future enhancement until it cannot be enriched anymore. Instead of getting attached to the solution, anticipate that core will change over time as the understanding of problem space deepens. So, it is important to leave room for future changes to the core when defining the requirement. Concentrate all efforts on solving only the business problems of core part and avoid mixing it with technical concerns like security, audit trail, etc. If the system requires integration with an ill-designed legacy system, then plan on putting a clean boundary around the legacy system to prevent imperfection to spreading to new areas of the application. The core part of the system is the reason why the software is written. It is essential to ensure that it delivers the value that business expects. Based on collaboration and analysis between business specialists and technical experts, a shared understanding is developed, which can then be captured in the form of a system model called the domain model. The domain model represents complex logic and policies in the problem space to solve various business use cases. It binds all abstract analysis around problem space to actual code implementation. Let us understand some of the best practices of creating a domain model. Spend as much time in the problem space as in the solution space. Refine the problem space iteratively to reveal the true intent behind stakeholders' vision. This will offer a better solution by avoiding wasting time on needs that business really don't care about. Use a context map to divide the problem space into various parts and submodels. Define boundaries as well as contact points between the various parts. Show both the organizational relationship as well as technical integration between the parts, reveal issues with the communication and workflows within the business space. For modeling, focus on the part of the core which is very complex, hard and interesting, and where business has high expectations. Build the knowledge by engaging with a specialist with deep understanding of business and operations. Use concrete scenarios to build understanding. Communicate the model with business specialist using the business terminology and definition, and ensure that there is consensus between business and technical experts on all the terminology used in the model. Bring out all the business logic in the model with an explicit name and ensure that it is internalized in the mental model of business specialist. Often, what the business specialists don't say or barely hint at are the key to unlock deep discoveries within the model. Implement the model in code early and frequently using the business terminology, language, and concepts. It is also important to keep the model simple and focused by avoiding unnecessary complexity. As complexity and size of model grows, it is efficient to divide the model into multiple business contexts such that there is minimal coupling between the context, and also there exists a clear and strong boundary between them. Instead of getting fixated on one perfect model, it is advisable to focus on learning and discovery of new concepts in business space through iteration, exploration, and experimentation. Also, validate good ideas by comparing them to bad ones and be open to making mistakes. As knowledge of problem space deepens, continue to update the rules, terminology, and nomenclature in the model to reflect more insightful abstractions discovered, to meet the new behavior of stakeholders, and to simplify the model. If working on new part of legacy system or integrating with a legacy system, then it is strongly recommended to avoid fixing issues of legacy code base so as not to get distracted from the actual goal and waste time. The domain model usually is free of technical complexities and focuses purely on business problem being solved by the software. So, it is a great tool for evaluating the business impact envisioned for the software and also evolving it iteratively. In this video, we covered how we shape business impact through software by going deeper into the core parts and also expressing the software as a simple model. In the next video, we will talk about how to create business impact post release of a software. Thank you for watching.